Okay, so today we've got Eric Hovind and Paul Taylor talking about a new scientific discovery. So brace yourselves.
You'll get similar scientific articles in American newspapers and magazines and so on.
Look at what the headline reads here. Icy asteroid could finally reveal where Earth's water came from. This could be the answer right here.
But I think what people are often concerned about, Eric, is that they see a scientific article like this and they immediately start to worry. How am I going to answer this? Science has proved this, so how on earth can I read this? You know, people are saying, I don't have a degree in science. How am I going to be able to cope with this and be able to answer it? And what we're going to show you today is that you actually don't have to know a great deal of science.
That's right.
We'll show you in a minute that there's very, very little science in this article.
Exactly.
At all.
Well, yeah, because this is not a scientific report. It's a news story. It's not the kind of thing you could hold up at a debate as a citation. And if you think that it is, if you think that this is the real meat of the scientific discovery, then I'm sorry, you're like a little kid who thinks that pushing his corn popper across the lawn is helping Daddy cut the grass.
I can't tell you how many times before I understood this, I would look at these things and go, great, how in the world are we going to get the Bible to try to fit this?
Oh yeah, because everyone knows that good science starts with a conclusion and then tries to get it to fit into reality. Well, good creation science anyway.
How in the world are we going to get the Bible to try to fit this? And that's the beauty. We don't have to.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, people think, you know, quite rightly, they think about 1 Peter 3, verse 15, and they think, well, you know, we've got to provide an answer to everyone. Does that mean we've got to know hundreds and hundreds of scientific facts so we can answer every single piece of evidence?
If you're actually interested in debating science, then yes, you do have to know a good amount of science. Stephen Hawking, for example, is not going to debate me on quantum mechanics because I probably have no idea what I'm talking about. It's not because his position is so uncertain that even the layman me, who has no idea what he's talking about, can beat him. It's because it's not worth the time or effort. You actually have to know what you're talking about.
Well, we've been talking to you and explaining that you don't actually have to know all the evidence. It's great if you know some of that you can back up what you're saying. But the important principle is our presupposition that we know that God has made the world.
Exactly.
Right, because 1 Peter 3 verse 13 only says that Christians have to give an answer, not that it has to be a good answer. Alright, so now they're going to move on and talk about fuzzy words as a way of dismissing this article as being scientific.
There's water, ice, and organic material have been discovered on the surface of an asteroid for the first time. This discovery lends support to the theory that meteorites falling on the Earth may have provided the kickstart to life.
All right, right there in sentence number 2, if you didn't catch that, you really need to catch that. It lends support, so this isn't absolute proof.
Now he is actually right on this. It isn't absolute proof. It's this newfangled thing called science, I think? Yeah, science, because science doesn't give you absolute proof. That's just the nature of inductive inferences. These same inductive inferences, mind you, built pretty much all modern technology. For example, you don't know with absolute certainty that your computer won't blow up in your face tomorrow, but the evidence of how electricity works lends support to the idea that it will not blow up in your face.
It lends support, so this isn't absolute proof, to the idea that the Earth may have provided. I mean, they're already, right in the second sentence of this article, using these fuzzy words to say, hey, look at what happened. They have a great headline here of, you know, kind of making a scientific fact out of their headline, and then it's not till a little bit later that you get into the real science that they discovered.
That's right.
So I think what Eric is complaining about is that the title is misleading, that it says that we've got this absolute scientific discovery, everyone should listen, la la la, but then it gets into the article and it's a lot less certain than the title lets on, which could be a valid objection, not to science but to journalism, except that the title is Icy Asteroid Could Finally Reveal Where Earth's Water Came From. So you've got that fuzzy word in the title, which already says that this is sort of iffy if Eric wants to go that route. And the reason that they put this qualifier, this fuzzy word, in the title is because that's how science works. It's not absolute, so you have to qualify statements by saying that they may not be actually the case. But Eric Hovind and Paul Taylor can't seem to get past this, well, fundamental fact of science. They're treating it as if it's a reason to disbelieve science. They can't get past it. They keep pointing out fuzzy words as if this means that science is wrong.
Look for phrases like may have, could have,
lends support.
Possibly.
Yeah, they're all throughout there. And as you start reading scientific journals with this in mind, you will see it all throughout it. The writers use that all the time.
Hang on a minute, this sounds vaguely familiar somehow.
The writers use that.
But because there's such a lack of factual evidence for the theory, they are forced to use words like we surmise, we believe, perhaps, maybe, could've, and possibly.
You're sinking, Eric. You're getting down in Ray Comfort Banana Man territory. Just saying.
It now appears that when the asteroids and planets were first forming in the early solar system, it now appears that they're changing their views even of their own ideas.
Yes, because that's how science works. It changes to reflect what we now know of reality. That is the fundamental principle of science. Like, how do you not understand that? How do you be that stupid?
And here's a classic one. Doubt was cast on this theory.
Yes, that's the point. Doubt was cast, for example, on the theory of ether or the Bohr model of the atom when other information came along that said, oh shoot, we were wrong about this. That's how science works. How do you not get this? Forgive me for being crude, but this is turning into a two-man circle jerk. I don't know if I can keep making this video.
Welcome back. You're watching Creation Today.
Oh no, I'm not.
That's right. You've got to remember that these people have got an axe to grind. They have a presupposition. We've got a presupposition.
That's
They've
true.
got a presupposition that things have happened without God.
Well, yeah, of course, because Magic Man done it doesn't explain. No, don't feed the trolls, don't feed the trolls.
The point is that their presupposition is illogical, which is why they have to make these strange
Yours is
claims.
wrong, ours is right. So there.
Huh. I never thought about it that way. That's a good point. I'm wrong, you're right, so there. I guess science is a conspiracy against God, and my presupposition is wrong because it's wrong. Makes sense. Praise Jesus.